Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead. Today I have August's garden tour for you. So I'm squeaking this in at the end like last time, but the garden is still doing well. Some things are finishing up, other things are just starting. That's usually how it ends up being, is that as soon as one thing is done, the next thing kind of starts in until fall. So yeah, let me show you what there is to see. So this is the kitchen garden, and so this is the smaller of our two gardens. And in here kind of is a menagerie of things. So this is the lettuce, and it has officially gone completely to seed. And what that is like anywhere that you see the little poof, you can pick one of those off and rub it in your finger. Let's see if I can get it to focus. And inside those little white oval looking things are the seeds. And so I come out and I collect all of those, and then I winnow it, which is just letting all of the extra poof stuff fly away, and I put them in a container and I save them for a plant. I need to get it done right now. I need to get all of this pulled up and seed fall lettuce, because now's the time to do it. It's on the list. The radishes are the same way. The pods have started to dry out. You can see those right there. And inside of those are the seeds, and I will do the same thing with those. I will pull those, and I don't even pull them out of the pods. I just plant the whole pod. Each one of them has like 3 to 4, sometimes up to 5 seeds in them. And so I'll just plant those, and I'll just plant them in rows in the same spot. I'd like to get a little bit more in. In the back are the jalapeno peppers, and they are really close to being done. Some of them are probably on the verge of being big enough to pick. My patch of randomness, broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts is doing okay. I need to come out and spray these again because they're getting attacked again. That little white moth that's flying around is what does that. Some of the broccoli, so like this one right here, has, I've never had good luck with broccoli. It just doesn't, I don't know. It always makes like teeny little heads and never makes nice big crowns like you see in the grocery store. So I'd like to try fall planting one year. I just never have gotten the dates right on starting the seeds indoors, because around here you can't buy fall garden plants. Nobody does it. The cosmos are starting to wrap up. You can see they're kind of starting to die. I need to get in there and collect some seeds off of those. Maybe I'll just let them self-seed like I did this year. We are starting to get tomatoes. So these are the 2 cherry tomatoes. So these are a yellow, Beams yellow pear, and these are a red cherry tomato. And they are huge. Like I don't know, like they just seem way bigger than they were ever before. These are bell peppers, and these are snack peppers. And we have started getting some snack peppers here and there, just like a few at a time. The bell peppers are still growing. So we'll see. They are doing great. I mean, the plants are huge. Those are probably upwards of 3 feet tall. My zinnias are still cranking, looking beautiful. They are slowing down maybe a little bit. And then the zucchini with the squash beetles finally found this garden. So all of my older plants, my younger plants back in the back are doing a little bit better. But all of my older plants are, yeah, sadly on the way out. I picked some today, but I may end up going ahead and coming out and pulling those soon. Although my intention is to put the penitentiary ladies, which are back there right now, I'm just moving them every day, on this in the fall and let them eat whatever is left. So I don't know, I might leave it. I don't really have anything there that I want to plant. I'm not going to do a whole lot of fall planting. I'm already tired. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let me pop over to the big garden. Okay, kind of an overview of the big garden. We are starting to get ripe tomatoes. I just picked probably 6 or so just now. Plants are huge, so I'm hoping, and they are loaded. So I'm really hoping we get a decent amount, because if we do, I did not really plant any canning type tomatoes this year. So I'm going to can some just because I'd like to can some juice for things like chili, tomato soup, vegetable soup, that kind of thing. But, and I'll probably do, I have never found a pasta sauce canned recipe that I like. they are always too acidic and you have to add way too much sugar to them, or I've tried the baking soda trick, which is supposed to neutralize the acid, but I just never have found a recipe that I like. I'd rather buy it, sadly. I do diced tomatoes for like tomato soup and that kind of thing. So, and then I would like to try dehydrating some to make tomato powder that can be added to soup as a thickener. So yeah, the tomatoes are looking great. But then I'd also really, really like to have enough that I can donate as well to the food pantry. The cucumbers are on their way out. They have, because we've had such dry and hot weather, they're starting to get bitter. So I've been letting them grow and get overgrown and then throwing them to the chickens. I also need to let some grow and get overgrown so I can save seed from them, because I really liked this variety. They were long and skinny, which is exactly what I wanted for pickles. I am done with canning pickles. I think I ended up with like 82 pints. I know that seems like a ridiculous amount, but if my kids eat 1 jar twice a week, they'll eat all of those through over the winter. So, as you can see, I have kind of abandoned the weeds to take over in certain areas because my main focus has been harvesting and processing now. This area is ridiculously bad. It was even worse because this is where my kids dug their holes, trenches. I don't know what they were doing. So I have weeded the back section like way back there, but it all looked like this and like worse. So I'm been getting in there and getting it weeded as I can. And then I'm going to make them fill their holes in, because we're talking like 3-foot deep hole. I don't know. My kids are moles. The corn is done. There are a few ears that I have left on because I'm really hoping to try saving seed from this. We really liked it. It was good corn, fairly prolific. I know it was an heirloom variety. And then when all of the things are dead, we will make the corn shock thingies for fall decorations. So I never just take them down and trash them. I do that. And then when we're done with those, come usually the end of November, beginning of December, I take them down and I compost them. So they get a second life as decorations, which is always fun. The green beans are still cranking. I just picked 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket full. And I usually pick them once every 3 days. The time before that, I only got like 1/4 of a 5-gallon bucket. They usually, my experience with green beans is they usually crank out big time and then they back off when it gets hot and then they pull back up again and start growing again. So I think we're kind of in that second wave. And then I did have the 2 rows that I've planted, secondary ones, that my intention on those is just to continue having fresh green beans because I love fresh green beans. Okay, now ready for it. Wah, wah, wah. The squash beetles have found all of the vining plants. Mind you, we should still get an amazing harvest off of most of it, but they're on the outs. It's fall, getting there at least. We've got cantaloupe that are growing great. Let me get my shadow out of the way there. Cantaloupe that are growing great. Hopefully those will ripen because the plants are still looking good on that. The watermelon got attacked, but we have a bunch of baby watermelon, including some like baby watermelon, like hilariously small. Let me show you this one. It like fits in the palm of my hand. And I kind of want to open it up and see if it went ahead and ripened. I think that guy right there is probably ripe, and I think probably a couple other ones will probably be okay as well. My loofah gourds are still doing okay. The plants are starting to die, but I'm kind of hopeful that I still get something off of those. Let's pop over here. These are ones that are new to me called Delicata. They're supposed to be a lower carb winter squash, so we're trying those. Once again, the plant is dying, but the vegetable themselves looks good. Gourd, whatever you call it, I don't know. I did see the squash beetles on them earlier today. I had my 10-year-old out here the other day with a lighter, like a little torch lighter. I was with him. He was monitored, burning them. Maybe that's mean. I don't know. I kind of don't care. There's a bunch of them. That's the evil little guys. But we have a prolific amount of spaghetti squash, enough that I'm definitely going to be able to donate some of those, although I really like spaghetti squash. So I don't know, I might keep a hold of all of those. But then we also have a bunch of butternut squash that are growing well as well. So those are a couple of spaghetti squash. There's another one of those squash beetles. You can see it. Oh, evil things. But then look at this monster. I don't think I've ever seen a butternut squash that big before. He's huge. So yeah, they did okay. I see a bunch of little ones out there and a bunch of medium-sized ones. So hopefully they'll just go ahead and ripen up, which is usually what they do. If I remember correctly, I think winter squash, they recommend leaving them out and letting them get frosted on once. That's supposed to help them last longer. But it's only, yeah, just the beginning of the end of August, just shy of the beginning of September. So we usually don't get our first frosts around here until October. So I don't know that I'm going to leave them out there until then. I don't know. We'll see. The other day I showed or talked about that I was getting apples off of our apple trees. These are our apple trees. They are old growth apple trees and they have not been well tended. Generally speaking, you do not want apple trees to get big. You keep them pruned back, and this is just someone has, I don't know, neglected them or just decided they weren't going to do it. We have never gotten decent apples off of these before because they are old growth. They put all of their energy into the tree. But this year we managed to get a whole lot. This is kind of, the ground is littered with them. The only issue is these are a very, very tart apple. So the applesauce, despite my adding honey and a little bit of sugar to it, is still very, very tart. So that's the downside to it. But the kids liked it, so I went ahead and canned up. I got 17 quarts. So that's nice because, you know, my kids will eat it anyway. But I don't want any of it because I don't like tart apples. So, but yeah, that's the garden. It's still going. And like I said, it's interesting because the corn is done now. The zucchini is about done. But now, and the green beans are slowing down, but now the tomatoes are coming, and the cucumbers are done. But now the tomatoes are coming on, the peppers are next, the jalapeno peppers. When those are done, we're going to be back into lettuce and radish season. So yeah, it just keeps going. Oh, there's probably another tomato that needs picked soon. I think this is one of my favorites. I picked some of those today. These are called pineapple. There's an ant on it. Bye, buddy. This is called a pineapple. They have beautiful coloration. I actually picked one earlier and it was a double and it split while I was picking it, so I might have eaten half of it. It was huge. What? So yeah, that's everything. I am really hopeful that we're going to get, like I said, I'm really hopeful we're going to get some tomatoes, some major tomato crop, because I would love, love, love to take and donate. That was kind of my mindset when I planted. I had intended on only planting about 4 tomato plants this year, maybe 5, plus cherry tomatoes, so that I could have just eating tomatoes. And then I found there was a lady that had free tomatoes on the side, tomato plants on the side of the road, and I thought, you know what if I go ahead and plant those? And then I donate any extra that I can. Because it's one of those where, I know, we're going to a food bank. Shouldn't we be eating all of this? But you can only eat so many tomatoes and so many green beans and so many cucumbers before the kids start going, I'm so sick of green beans. Because we generally eat green beans twice a week, at least, all year round. Definitely during the summer. And zucchini is the same way. We eat so much zucchini during the summer. So, you know, it's one of those where there's only so much of that you can eat. Zucchinis, there's not really a great way of saving them. I can only can so many green beans, and then I run out of lids and jars and storage space and all that. So, to me, if I can essentially trade the food bank, food that I can't produce. You know, I can't produce milk and yolk. Well, okay, I do produce milk, but not not the kind that my kids want put on their cereal. Sorry, TMI. Oh no, I just realized that plant is still covered in tomatoes. Look, I didn't look at this one from the right side. I'm gonna have to pick some more tomatoes. But anyway, if I can trade the food bank for things that I can't grow. I can't grow potato chips, I can't grow bread, I can't grow, you know, meat for the most part. That if I can trade them, and then my community gets some help from the things that I can grow. I can grow tomatoes, I can grow cucumbers, I can grow green beans. Then I'm going to do that. You know, that supports both of us. So anyway, I guess I'm going to pick some more tomatoes. Ah, dang it. Because that makes my arms itch. And yeah, Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for my rambling. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.